Hello, hello, hello. My name is Rose Archangel, licensed professional counselor. Welcome, welcome, guys, to episode 7 of Therapist Pray 2. And today I have the pleasure of having a conversation with one of my line sisters, Miss Beautiful Kelly Farley. And Kelly will be discussing energy today. It's quite interesting, right? A lot of you guys may have not heard about it. So it'll be interesting to hear about energy and the work that she does. Very informative. Some may have experienced and others may have not, but she's definitely going to dive in and share all about this amazing work that she does with us. So, welcome aboard, Kelly. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you for having me. Hello, everyone. My name is Kelly Danielle. I'm your energy nurse. A little bit about me. I have a degree in biology with enough credits in chemistry that I should have been considered my minor. I also have a degree in interior design, which allows me to develop a keen eye on ways to help others through built spaces. Because as a Texas registered interior designer, you have to genuinely care about others who may be using the space, whether they're disabled, to include those in wheelchairs, those who are blind or deaf, and to those who have sensory issues. Texas has the strongest rules on the books about how universal access should be applied for equality. I am also a veteran of the United States Air Force.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
And out of my years in the military, I most importantly learned to have accountability and responsibility. I did a number of tours in the sandbox as a navigator and an instructor. And once on one of my RC-135 so once my RC-135 departs and leveled out, it became my aircraft to navigate around country borders, weather incursions, and terrain. There were many souls on board, and I was responsible for on all those flights. You learn really quick to get serious and have your act together because lives are at stake for after all. And finally, as a self-titled former wayward traveler, all these collected experiences are what brought me here to be able to do what I do now. A learned skill that allows me to help both animals and humans feel better in their bodies. Also, mainly, I want to rebalance the energy on Earth.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
That sounds like that's something hard to do. That sounds like a difficult task. I mean, What is that all about? Rebalancing the energy on the Earth. So is that in your capability?
Yeah. Actually, I connect with the sun all the time, our atmosphere, our water. We all have some issues with what we do to Earth. So, yeah, it's definitely possible.
Okay, awesome. Well, definitely. How does one get into this type of work? I mean, I don't know. You sound like I have a lot of science background. That's kind of boring to me, to be quite frank. How does one feel intrigued about this type of work? How do you get into it? How does it keep your energy and attention?
I actually had my own energy work done by a certified practitioner who lives in Bolivia. I made an appointment with her, and she came recommended from a friend that I trust in all things health. She's a fellow crunchy mom. And one day she leans in, like she was sharing a valuable secret with me, and said, I had an appointment with an energy healer. And I said, who? Tell me more. After hearing what she tried to describe, I went and made my own appointment to see what the fuss was about. 3 appointments later, this practitioner had fixed my misaligned pyloric sphincter. And you're probably wondering, what the heck is that?
Absolutely.
And basically, it's a sphincter in your intestines that connects your small intestines to your large intestines, okay? And once you have digested your food and it continues to go on, it's supposed to come out. It's not supposed to go the opposite way.
Mm-hmm.
And mine was actually going the opposite way because it wasn't closing. And I suffered from low-grade nausea because due to it most of my life since I was about 16, and just like that, she made it stop in 3 appointments, and I was floored. So immediately I decided that I wanted to learn how to do that too, and I did.
Absolutely. That sounds interesting, intriguing, but also for some viewers or some listeners, they'd be like, girl, what you talking about? That don't sound like that's possible. Like, how you didn't go to the doctor, you didn't see physicians, it wasn't a manifestation of God. Like, how was this possible? So for some people listening to your story, they'd be like, this just doesn't make sense. How would you respond to someone who's having a hard time believing that you were having this low grade, fever, you was having nausea, you was having all these digestive systems, and after meeting with, this energy nurse, after 3 sessions, it was completely healed?
Well, truly, this type of work is something is hard to explain, and it should be experienced.
Okay.
But for me to have low grade nausea every single day of my life, and then for it to stop in 3 appointments, it was very clear what was going on.
Absolutely.
That there is more than just this physical meat sack that we have going on.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that I explain that is our physical meat sack, the bones, the skin, and the blood, all this stuff, us sitting here talking with our brains, sits inside of our magnetic field.
Mm-hmm.
And our magnetic field will go about 3 feet outside of our body. Okay, it goes through us, it's all throughout us, and that's where all your problems, any issues that you have mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, they all start in your magnetic field. Okay, wow. As a vibration. And so anytime you have pain, everybody thinks, oh, I have this pain. Pain is nothing but vibrations literally layered on top of each other. And they
that makes sense, though.
And they grow, okay? Mm-hmm. They grow, and the way they grow is by echoing on top of each other. So sometimes you might have like a backache and it hurts right on your spine, but on other days it might hurt near your hip. Mm-hmm. And it's all one thing just layered on top of like an onion. Okay.
Wow.
So, a lot of people ask exactly what is an energy nurse officially. I am a certified practitioner of the emotion code, the body code, and the belief code. Energy nurse is the title I chose for my role in my business, which is EMC Squared Healing.
Okay.
Because I move energy. I move it. All right. I help you move through it.
Wow.
I release energy spikes called distortions from both animals and humans. Horses are my favorite right now. Well, they're always my favorite. They're my favorite animal since I was a little girl. Through these releases, which I do via a non-touch technique called applied kinesiology. Okay. Mm-hmm. My clients often report feeling extremely relaxed, just like after they had a good massage, or as if they just took a huge energetic bowel movement.
Okay.
Okay. So I basically asked the doctor, which is your subconscious portion of your brain, mm-hmm. if and where there may be distortions in your magnetic field affecting everything about you.
Okay.
Then the energy nurse, I'll administer the protocol that the doctor, your body, has prescribed for me to release. So it's your body that's telling me what to do.
Wow.
I'm not suggesting or anything. So I ask your body, is there anything, any type of energetic distortions that is feeding? So give me a problem.
Neck pain.
Okay, neck pain. Mm-hmm. So I will ask your body, are there any energetic distortions feeding your neck pain? And then through applied kinesiology, your body will respond yes or no.
Wow.
And this is where all the practice and all the work on yourself, because you have to have so many hours of practicing on yourself before you can get certified to even do other people. Okay.
Makes sense.
And part of your training before you even get certified is to work on other people, but you got to work on yourself first. And it was like, I don't know, thousands of hours. It took me a long time to.
So somebody just randomly wakes up today and want to be an energy nurse, and they're like, I'm going to do this because it's fun and interesting, and I heard all the great testimonies, so I want a part of this community.
Yeah.
Not happening.
No. It takes an investment. in your time. Okay.
And I'm sure not just time, probably energy, effort, money.
Yes, because when I went to get certified in the belief code, I came back wore out. Wow. Because the level, I call it distortion, but I also call it rust. The amount of rust that the belief code can release from the body is amazing, and you do need to recover from it. It's not, there's days to process, and when I tell people to have to process, that means that, you need to be kind to yourself. You need to spoil yourself. If you've been vegan all your life and all of a sudden you're craving for a steak, please eat the steak. Usually processing times range from 3 to 5 days, but I also have some people who process for 10 months, and I see them once a year.
My goodness.
For their yearly maintenance. So, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it all would depend on an individual's body.
It really is.
Okay.
It just depends on, because all ailments, whether it's high blood pressure, diabetes, schizophrenia, anything that you can think of, it's all the same thing for everybody, because this is one consciousness. So everything starts off in your magnetic field as a vibration. And we all have the same thing. It just manifests into people in different ways. So in you, it'll be a sore neck, and in me, it might be diabetes. Wow. But it's all the same thing.
Wow.
Yes.
So with that being said, an individual such as myself who experiences or has had back and neck pain from doing hair so many years, in comparison to my daughter who struggles with suicidal ideations, we're two different people, but you're saying your work will kind of be the same. Yes. Because of the magnetic fields, even though she's struggling with suicidal ideations and I just have neck and back pain, your process will kind of be the same.
It all starts in the same place. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and it just manifests in a different way in different people.
Okay. Awesome. Wow. Have you always been spiritual? Does your spirituality have anything to do with energy work and where you find yourself right now?
Well, I don't consider this modality as being spiritual. It's based off of modern scientific research sprinkled in with ancient knowledge from, collected from various cultures like Chinese medicine, which was first recorded use was 2,000 years ago. Ayurvedic medicine, which was recorded more than 5,000 years ago. These modalities have staying power, and there is validity in these modalities. And so this work that I do is more of me being bilingual and being able to communicate with intelligence, your subconscious, which is a supercomputer. Okay, so I understand how to decode programs, or i.e. beliefs, and I use these commands on your subconscious, your hardware system, to release those energetic distortions. And it's these distortions, these vibrations over periods of time, like I said, that will physically manifest into issues like aches and pains, stiffness, ringing in the ears, to other more form discomforts like arthritis, PCOS, heart disease, etc., etc.
Oh, that makes sense. So if I were an individual that came to you today interested in your services, can you just break it down a little more for our audiences and tell me exactly how the process of what you do, how does that work?
So after I have you relax, I want you to have your bladder empty, maybe a cup of water near you. I would like for you to be either laying in your bed or a comfy chair. You cannot be driving in a moving vehicle. You cannot be operating heavy machinery, because a lot of times my clients get really sleepy after they've had a session. All right,
it makes sense.
So I want to keep you safe,
right?
and you can speak to that too. I don't know if you got sleepy after your session, but after I connect with you in the way I connect, I simply ask you, "May I connect with you?" And you say yes. Then I ask your subconscious, are there any energetic distortions that need to be released? When your body signals a vibration to me, the answer is yes. Then I proceed to work on decoding each distortion one at a time. In my sessions, I go through the motion code first. I can decode 60 basic low vibrating emotions like anxiety, sadness, anger, shame, humiliation, etc. Once your body no longer needs time with the motion code, I move on to the body code, which releases toxins, pathogens, misalignments, physical traumas, circuit and system distortions, as well as your nutrition and your lifestyle. And then lastly, I follow with the belief code, which decodes negative programs and limiting beliefs. And you would be surprised how many limiting beliefs people have, especially now in our political climate today. Usually a session will last about a half an hour. In that time, your body and I can release between 10 and 20 distortions. And then once I'm finished, I'll defragment all your openings created from the releases, just like I'm cleaning up a computer. And then I run that program, and then you feel relaxed and ready for operation again.
Absolutely. So yeah, you did mention I have definitely had the pleasure of having my energy released. For me, the experience, I felt a few different things. I felt this heaviness all over my entire body, like I was real stiff and couldn't move, but at the same time felt a sense of lightness. It don't make sense. I'm not trying to make sense of it, but that's how I felt. It's
something you have to experience, right?
Absolutely.
And it's hard to describe.
It's hard to describe. I felt some itchiness. I felt some tingling. But most importantly, I did feel a release of some pain in my neck. Definitely. So I can appreciate that. And I think I may have asked you about the energy and the things that the distortions and stuff that were released. And you're like, don't even worry about it. Once I send you the information, once it's gone, it's gone.
It's gone. It's permanently released.
So what does that mean? Like, what if I say, well, I still feel like I have some other things that I are still stored? What does that look like?
Wonderful question, because I don't want people to confuse or misunderstand. It's not always a one-hit release.
Okay.
Because again, remember I talked about the magnetic field, and pain is layered like an onion. So you could be lucky and all your distortions could be in that one layer. But more than likely, if it's something that has been bothering you for years,
absolutely,
you've been echoing this vibration for years. And so just like an onion, I got to get back into it. So I know, we have a couple more sessions that I want to do on you, because I typically have people do 3 sessions at a time, because from one to 2 you might see a little bit, but definitely 1 to 3 you notice a big change. Okay,
that makes sense.
Yes.
It reminds me of therapy. I mean, that's 3 is the magic number. I tell my clients all the time,
you gotta at least start off.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if you want to see different outcomes or different changes, even in the therapeutic sense, if you're interviewing a therapist or a clinician, I say give them 3 tries. If you're just unsure or uncertain about therapy, this doesn't work, I say give it 3 tries. So in comparison, that is typically what you suggest for your clients.
Yes. Start off with 3. But, not everybody can afford 3. So that's why I offer, you can get 1 and just see.
Exactly.
Because you might only need 1.
Right.
But yeah, I typically have my clients do 3 at a time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
So this is the one I'm sure my audiences are definitely interested in knowing. So tell me, how do you deal with people that are skeptical about this whole experience? Like, how do you respond to those individuals? Because let's just be honest, Kelly, not everybody gonna be on board with this, right? There is gonna be some skepticism.
Yes, I know the
How
word.
do you respond?
Well, I know the word demonic has been thrown around a lot lately, especially with like fraternities and sororities. It's kind of crazy.
Girl, in therapy, they saying now therapy is demonic. I'm like, oh my God, you can't do nothing in this world today.
Well, please know, okay, that the Nelson codes are based in scientific study and research. It is not pagan, nor is it pseudoscience. It used to be included in general medicine before capitalization got its hands in it. And, now it's all about going to the doctor, get a pill. Then that pill will create something else. Now you got to go back to the doctor, get another pill. So now you got 2 pills, but there's another symptom that's coming. Now guess what? You're on 3 pills.
Yeah.
So I don't want to play that game. I don't want my family to play that game, and I don't want my friends to play that game. So that's what I'm here for. I am just So again, it's not pagan, it's not pseudoscience. For my religious clients, the God that you pray to, the same very one that I consider the source with a capital S. I am communicating with the same beautiful and harmonious energy. Also, my clients would gladly share their experiences of lightness and relief from all kinds of discomforts they didn't have before our sessions. So please know that the Nelson Codes are based in scientific study and research. It is not pagan, nor is it pseudoscience. The God that you pray to is the same very one I consider the source with the capital S. Everything in life is based on perspectives. But the rub is that we are all basically talking about the same thing. We just use different vowels and consonants to call it Jesus, prana, spirit,
Buddha.
Chi. It's all the exact same. It's just we're looking at it with different glasses on, different filters, different life experiences, but it's all the same.
Wow. I like the way you put that, though.
You.
So hopefully someone who's listening who has been skeptical or just heard someone else, right? Haven't really learned or experienced for themselves, but just hear other people's stigmas and criticisms of this. I love the way that you broke it down so that people can understand.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Do you see any type of ancestral issues being common among those whose elders have gone through slavery?
Absolutely. All the time. My fellow Black Americans, when I do emotion code sessions, inherited energies always present themselves as heartache, vulnerability, despair, fear, and most of all, terror. And they are very painful. Yeah. Very, very painful. They did a number on us. Yeah. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah. But terror, that's a big word, though. I know you said that's all you want to say about it, but I need to hear more, like, as an individual, like, what does that do for you in these sessions? Like, how do you take care of yourself? Like, if you're releasing so many of these big emotions, like, this has got to be difficult. I mean, I don't know. It's my assumption.
Yeah, so one thing that they teach you is to keep the energies completely separate, and that's done by a simple command, okay? And then, I spend a lot of time out in nature. Me and the sun are very good friends, and me and the stars are very good friends. I love the night sky. I love grounding myself out in my backyard. And, I have to remember what my own vibrations feel like. So if, very seldom anymore do I absorb other people's energy. And this is just in regular living, like with my family at my house. But like as a stranger, absolutely not. I keep my own shields up. Again, it's an intention that I keep your energy separate from my energy, even though I'm basically working as your proctor. And yes, I physically feel these sensations, okay? And all it does is give me compassion for people, because half the time they don't even know they're feeling it because they can't put words to it.
Right.
And especially like the slavery, the inherited stuff, so much of that pain has been vibrating in us since we were born that we don't realize it's not ours anymore. It's not ours, and we don't have to hold on to it. So that again is one of my missions is to help out Black Americans, because we had it bad.
Absolutely, and even now, Kelly, we still have it bad.
I know.
In different areas,
they really don't care. They really don't care. But you know who does? I do.
So we need more Kellys. We need more people out here doing energy work.
And every month, people get certified. There's a newsletter that goes out. But people have been doing this work since forever. I mean, since
so it's been around.
Years.
We're just hearing about it.
You're just not hearing about it because it is an industry disruptor, and the medical field obviously does not want people having access to that. I mean, even now they cutting out our history just from parks and libraries and burning our books. And so, I feel it is a responsibility to help share what is actually possible. For those who do know the invisible, then possible is possible. So
And that makes sense. And even in my line of work, typically if I'm seeing individuals, for therapy, but then they feel like the symptoms are overwhelming or overbearing,
or
and
they
the first
can't get rid of them.
the first line of defense is medication. So me having this conversation with you, it just gives me a different perspective, even for my clients. Like, okay, medication doesn't have to be the first resort. Like, there are other things that are out there.
There's other ways to medicate.
Absolutely.
How about that?
Oh,
Besides
I love
a pill.
it. I love it.
Besides a pill, there are other ways to medicate. Yes.
I love that. So can energy work be combined with more traditional and conventional therapies?
I am so glad you asked, because absolutely, yes. Conventional talk it out type therapies like cognitive behavior therapy benefit greatly and can be used in conjunction. But people need to remember that all prescriptions and directions from your mental health provider should be continued and followed until your state licensed therapist or counselor recommends otherwise. But more than likely, you will feel like, do I really need to take this depression pill?
Right.
So through my work, I get those physical sensations, those feelings of what depression feels like. If I can get those out the way, then you could present yourself to your licensed professional and say, I really don't think I need it. But you have to go to them. Don't just stop.
Right, absolutely.
That's like, stopping a antibiotic before the
exactly.
You don't want to do that.
Right.
So.
And I'm glad you pointed that out. You're absolutely right. Because I tell clients all the time, when they decided they woke up today and they are feeling great and amazing, and they just stop taking all of their medications. I'm like, whoa, wait. I absolutely love that you're feeling great.
Slow your roll.
But I'm going to need for you to consult, which is like our interest before just cold turkey, all of your medications. But even going back to countertransference, when I was asking you about, how are you taking care of yourself? Because even in therapy, right, when I'm dealing with clients, there are some times that there is some transference or countertransference, right?
Yes.
Have you ever experienced, and I know you've been doing it for a while, but has there been any experiences or any times where there has been some countertransference of things that your clients or patients were experiencing, you kind of felt really intense?
Well,
like trauma
so again, during the session, I feel it. You
okay?
It's like you get an inch of it. When you said I felt tingling, I felt itching. That was just literally 1/16 of what I was feeling, because I'm taking the bulk of it. But
so you feel everything?
Yes.
Okay.
I do feel everything. But the key is it doesn't injure me, it doesn't hurt me, but I do feel it. And that's where the compassion comes in, because have you ever wanted to plug yourself up to somebody else so you can really know what they're thinking or what they're feeling? I am literally plugging into you digitally. I am digitally plugging into you. And so when I release, I do a lot of tapping, I do humming, heavy breathing, rhythmic breathing, along with the applied kinesiology. A lot is going on, okay? But I'm basically, my body is a vessel that is allowing this vibration to express itself. Okay, so I'm not really making the noise. I am, but it's the vibration. So sometimes my teeth might chatter. Sometimes you will hear my spine cord just snap into place. My goodness.
Yeah.
It gets like that.
Yeah, that sounds a little scary.
It does, but I don't. If I say anything, it probably hurts good.
Okay. That makes sense.
Because I'm releasing it from people.
Absolutely.
And when it's gone, it's like
a release.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So for the listeners interested, right? I mean, they're loving what they're hearing. How does one follow this path? Like, how can someone find you?
Okay.
What are your handles, and how can someone become certified in this area if this is something that, they're interested in doing?
Sure. So people can find me at my website, www.emc-squared.com. And then you can also find me on Instagram, EMC2 Healing. Okay. But if somebody wants to explore, there's books. They've got the motion code. I think the body code is out there as well.
Okay.
But the name of the company is called Discover Healing. I did their online course for both the motion code and the body code, and then I went in person for the belief code.
Okay.
The belief code is like really big. It's a massive modality. It really is. Just from all the things that you can clear with somebody in the belief code, we go over divine, insight, communication, love, power, passion, survival. Okay. So like for survival, it even goes even further. Codependency. Let's look at.
Oh, that's a big one. Oh my goodness. Are you serious?
Yeah, so you come down here to a negative statement and say, so I'm asking your body, does your body have any codependency negative statements? And it'll say yes. And it'll take me to section 4, problem number 6, which is I need to help others to solve them problems.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
black community, black community, especially black women.
Yes. So, I mean, these things, again, usually equal out to a limiting belief. Or some way there's an incongruency between your conscious mind, which is the mind we're using right now to speak to each other, and your subconscious mind, which is part of your brain that helps, your respiration. It keeps your heart beating, keeps your hormones being delivered where they need to be delivered. Is also a storage. Okay. So every face, every experience you've ever had, every pain, every accident, any physical trauma, everything, your subconscious records it. It's like a snapshot. And I can go in there and find a specific time stated time, stamp, date, and remove that thing that is feeding a distortion. And then once the distortion is gone, your body can go in and turn on whatever it needs to turn on, or turn off what's been on that wasn't supposed to be on.
Okay.
Or realign. It will heal thyself.
That sounds like a beautiful thing.
It really is.
I have clients oftentimes that have suppressed or repressed a lot of childhood trauma and things. Like, I can't even remember my childhood. Like, Miss Rose, I don't remember what happened between 6 and 20, all these repressed emotions. So for you, I'm not trying to, present these experiences or trauma for you, because sometimes they just want to know what would happen. Why is it blocked out? But for you and your energy work, I got you.
Yes,
sis, I got you, bro. You don't have to remember it.
You don't have
we
to
just releasing it.
Yep,
oh my God.
Release it. And if you do remember, okay, say you really have a traumatic childhood, okay, and you have these memories, and every time you replay that memory, you get sick in your stomach or your chest is tight. Okay, so that's the charge on the memory. Okay. I'm releasing the physical sensation. So you might still remember it, but it won't make you feel the way it has always made you feel. God. So when Erykah Badu says, "Bag lady, you gon' hurt your carrying all them bags," I'll help you release those bags.
Oh wow!
So even
release them,
a bad relationship, and you just can't get past it, give me a call. I bet you I can help you.
Wow. 1, 2, 3, release it.
1, 2, 3, release. Yes.
Oh my God. Thanks, Kelly. So, all right, you gave us your handles. I appreciate that. Now, I've been having some, people who are interested in just donating to your cause and being able to, bless you in ways financially, just to help support your business. Do you have any handles or any ways, methods of payment that people can donate if they would like to?
I mean, I have a Zelle, but really the way I need people to help me is to spread the message and send folks to me that need the help, because I do all my stuff by word of mouth, really. Okay. And so that's why I like to. Yeah, so you can find me on emcsquared.com. Again, it's emc-sqrd.com. check out my website. There's more information on there. There's also my booking is on there.
Okay.
It's really simple, and then you pay, and you have to fill out an informed consent form. Okay, this tells you everything that I do, everything I don't do. Okay. And so once you sign that and send it back to me, I'll make an appointment with you, and then we can go from there.
And we did our session in 2 different states. So
yes.
You're saying you're able to touch energy wherever across the world.
Energy is within and throughout everything.
Wow.
Okay. We are all of one consciousness or Christ consciousness, whatever you want to call it. All I got to do is be intention about who I'm trying to reach after you give me your permission. And that's it. Bing, bada, boom. I'm connected to you.
Yes.
And I can release whatever you want. And then most importantly, when I'm finished, I disconnect. Because you got to go on and process in your way. And I have to go on and protect myself. So.
Absolutely. That's a valid point. Yes. I love that you added that. And definitely word of mouth, guys, because I heard from one of my line sisters who actually went through and had a session with Keli, and she was freaking amazed. She raved about this experience. She suffers with fibromyalgia, I think, and oh my gosh, she felt so much better. And I'm like, girl, bye, whatever. And she's like, no, Rose. And so I was like, okay, well. And so I also felt better, right? So guys, reach out to Keli, schedule those appointments. Anything you want to leave with our audience today on Keli before we go?
Well, I want to say thank you for taking the time to listen. And yes, I owe you 2 more appointments. We're going to work on those. We're going to work on those shoulders.
Yes.
And just again, it is not a pagan. It is not pseudoscience. It is based in scientific research. Once again, you can go to Discover Healing for all that good data and scientific pages and all this. All of it's there. So, just step out of your comfort zone and get healed. How about that? Feel better inside your body. That's what I do.
Absolutely. Inside and out, right?
Yes.
You don't have to suffer in silence.
You really
There's
don't.
help out there for you.
You really do not have to suffer in silence.
Well, thank you so much, Keli.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, not a problem. This was great. It was so informative. And again, Keli said this has been around for years. It's very ancient. And I'm just coming around to it. And I've been in mental health for over 15 years. And we do some of the, similar modalities, but I've never been this close in contact with someone who actually studies and practices energy work, Miss Energy Nurse Keli.
Yes.
So thanks for listening, guys. And we'll see you on next week for episode 8 of Therapists Pray 2. Thank you.